Hi everyone. Right now we're going to use Kreation.Arduino.Playmaker to have a physical button on the Arduino trigger events to PlayMaker and have PlayMaker then do something in the Unity game engine in the virtual world. So it'll be physical triggering events in the virtual world. Let's check it out. So here we have an empty project. First thing we're going to do is add the Kreation.Playmaker Arduino object. I've got my Arduino plugged in, so I'm going to detect the board. Now have pin 7 set up, actually connected on the Arduino, so all the other pins I do not need. So I'm just going to hit delete on all of them except for 7. Okay, there we are. And I'm going to call this switch. Now it doesn't have to be capitals, I just tend to like using that as a convention for labels. Okay, so there we are, that's configured. Now what I want to do is on this light, I want to make, I'm going to set up 2 lights in a scene. I'm going to make it when I switch the Arduino switch on or off, it's going to control lights in the actual scene in Unity. So you've got, a physical switch. It's like a light switch in the real world controlling the virtual world. Okay, so what do we need? Let's make a scene. We need, 3D. Let's make a plane. Okay, so we have the plane. Let's make the plane a bit bigger. So I'll make it 10 wide and 10 deep. So now it looks like a plane. Let me just go to my project view here. I'm going to let's create a material. So I'll just create a couple of materials. So this material will be the let's say grass for the plane. So make this some sort of green. It's kind of bright. Yeah, it's a bit more grassy. Okay, so now we have grass and it's not very smooth, etc. So that's fine. I'll just drag the grass material onto the plane. Now let's add, let's have a look at the camera. I think the camera is halfway through the ground. Yeah, that won't help. There we go. Let's add some objects. So naturally in a grassy field out in the world you might see 2 spheres just floating, so let's do that. I'm kidding, of course. So there's one, and where are you? Just realized they call that 3D object. In the past that was always just 3D. Anyway, okay, so let's make a cube, something different. Okay, let's have a look at the scene in terms of where's our camera. Okay, the camera's there, right. So bring the camera back so it can see everything. Maybe further back, not too far. Let's bring this sphere across. If we look at the camera, okay. And maybe bring that up a bit. All right, good. So we have shadows on the bottom. We've got the cube and the sphere. Now, one thing that'll help, and it's always good to think about lighting in a 3D scene. So let's set up another light on the side to give a kind of just a faint side light or a faint outside light. Let's make it let's try an area light. Now, where is it? So let's bring that over to one side. Okay, I have to zoom in. There we go, stretch out its range a bit. Okay, and let's turn the intensity down to 0.1. If I turn the main light off, so turn its intensity down to 0. Okay, I hit play. Let's just have a look and see how the scene is looking. Yeah, that's pretty grim. So where's our area light? What's going on with that? Actually, let's just turn that up for a second. Right, okay, that doesn't help. So what's going on? Range. No, intensity multiplier. Okay, that's fine. Let's try 20. That doesn't help us. Oh, I know, because it's baked. So turn that into, hang on, I don't want that. Where are you? Yeah, okay, this light style needs to be baked. That's great. Wait, what? Okay, try point light. Okay, that'll do. But not baked, real time. Groovy. Let's bring that maybe over here. Can we see the cube? Yes. Okay, and from the camera's vantage point, to look from the game, no, not so much. What I might do is I might rotate the cube a little bit. Just so we can see the cube. Yeah. Okay, so now the intensity needs to be adjusted. Now hang on, let's not get too carried away because I'm still in play mode. So I need to rotate the cube. I need to go to my light and change that to be a point light. And I'll call this side light or rim lighting. Actually, I think that's probably more what it's known as. It's a rim light. Let's see. Okay, let's give that a look. Okay, it's quite the contrast actually. If I bring the camera up and kind of aim it down a bit, it won't make it seem quite so harsh contrast wise, I don't think. Let's try tilting it down a bit. And now if we go back to our rim light, okay, 0.1 might not be, let's see, the range, let's just bring that up a bit, 15, yes, okay, that's a bit better. Okay, that's pretty good. So I just wanted to get this rim visible here so that when the light's off, you can still get a sense of what's in the scene, but it's more of just a hint. Okay, so let's make the actual the interactive components here. So with our directional light, we need to have a state machine. So we'll add a state machine here. The state machine is going to control this directional light. Now we need, if we look at our Arduino for PlayMaker, so what we can do here is we can drag the directional light into PlayMaker FSM. Okay, so now Arduino can send events to the finite state machine on the directional light. We can, let's see, with our pin 7, which is the input, because the label is switch, it's going to create two events, switch low and switch high. So if I go to our directional light now and look at the events, let's create two events here. So we'll define them here, switch equals low and switch equals high. So the equals low equals high thing is something that's created or generated automatically by the Arduino for PlayMaker object. So it will, because it's configured here, to know about the to know about the state machine, and because it has this label, what it does is when the voltage coming to that pin is low, according to digital in, then it will create an event for the state machine, and that event will be switch equals low. So that's the label equals low. So if I change the label to be something else like D in, then it would be D in equals low. So whatever that label is equals low was added to the end. And then for when there's a high voltage, so say 3 volts, 3.3 volts is applied to the input pin, then again I'll get switch equals high. So these are events automatically created by the Arduino for PlayMaker object in the scene. So let's go back to our directional light. So we have our two events. Now what we need to do here is, if I go to the actions, we just want to control the light intensity. So I can add that as an action here. Let's make this, let's say the light is off. So make the intensity here 0, and then we'll make another state, and we'll call this light is on. So light dash on, and we drag this set intensity action in here and leave that to 1. So now what we can do here is we can add a transition. So when the switch is high, it will go to the light is on. Add a transition here. When the switch is low, it will go to the light off. So you can see this will very quickly, this very simply, when the switch is off, right? So it's basically when the switch is off, if it happens to be in this state, then it will go over to the light off, and when I turn the switch on, it will go from this state across to here. Okay, and of course if the switch is low, then it won't move, it'll just stay there, which is fine. Okay, so now is there anything else we need to set up? I think this is good to go. So let me just turn on the camera so you can see what happens in the physical world. Ah, I had it on. I had it on that whole time. Okay, so here we are here. So what I have is, this is the input. I have basically a pull down resistor, and it's and this is ground. So when I apply this 3 volts, when I put it on, when I do this, basically when I connect it here, then we have a high voltage, and when I have it out there, it's a low voltage. That's simply what's happening. So let's try this out. Actually, let me just make sure I've got the directional light so we can see the event we have. And if I connect this on to here, sure enough, now the switch is high, so the light has come on. If I take this away, the switch is off and the light's gone off. So there we are. We have a very simple, turn the switch on, and in the virtual scene the light comes on, turn it off, and instantly the light is off. So there we are, physical world controlling the virtual world in the Unity game engine using PlayMaker, so no code, and we have Arduino with the physical switch. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, hit the like button. It's always nice to get some feedback, and if you wanted to see something different, just leave a comment. Thanks.